Would you sleep in a bedroom 100 feet in the air and supported by a thin leg of concrete? Because one Russian billionaire paid $140 million to do just that. The Spaceship House has many unique features, the most striking of which being a futuristic master suite that sits high above the trees. But this stunning home, designed by architect Zaha Hadid, has a lot of surprises, like a giant pool and even a nightclub. Billionaire Vladislav Doronin had this luxury home designed for him as the first and last residential property Hadid would ever build. Let's take a tour and see why partnership between these two visionaries is truly out of this world. You don't have to travel to a galaxy far, far away to step inside this spaceship. Located in the middle of a Russian forest just outside of Moscow, the spaceship sits in the elite neighborhood of Rubliovka, an ultra-exclusive suburb that's home to some of Russia's richest citizens, where homes can easily cost more than $80 million. The $140 million spaceship is home to Russian-born billionaire Vladislav Doronin, founder of the real estate development firm Oko Group and owner of the luxury resort brand Aman. Doronin definitely knows luxury real estate inside and out, but he only had a very small part to play in the development of this unique home. In a meeting with renowned architect Zaha Hadid, Doronin convinced her to take her very own first private residential project. Over coffee, Doronin told her about wanting to wake up every morning and look over the top of the trees without another human being in sight. She drew a sketch for him on a napkin of a tall tower-like bedroom floating high above the leaves, and the two immediately struck a deal. Starting in 2008 and constructed over the next 10 years, the 36,000 square foot home was built and formally dubbed the Capitol Hill Residence, while most admirers chose to stick with calling it the Spaceship House. The futuristic home is partially submerged in the hillside, blending effortlessly with the surrounding nature. From a bird's eye view, the home's unique shape can be properly appreciated. But from the ground, what really stands out is that tall, skinny tower that supports the house's impossibly large master bedroom. The concrete supporting column includes a glass elevator and staircase that lead up to the master suite. At over 100 feet, 30.5 meters tall, the bedroom has gorgeous, uninterrupted views of the elite community and surrounding forests, just like Doronin wanted. He refers to this glass elevator as a 7-story skylift, which makes him feel like he's really ascending into a spaceship every night when he goes to bed and coming back down to Earth every morning. For people walking by on the street, the home is mostly hidden, so it really does look like a spaceship is rising out from the trees. A woman even got into a minor car accident near his house once because the sight of the emerging spaceship shocked her so much she drove right off the road. Meanwhile, the lower part of the home is a complete shift from these sky-high views. It's submerged into the surrounding landscape and includes a 65-foot, 19.8 meters swimming pool, a spa featuring a rain shower and Japanese garden, and a nightclub that runs partially underground. The ground floor is the living area, which boasts modern decor and clean lines, though Doronin has only ever released one photo of the home's likely impressive interior. While he loves the Spaceship House, he also wants to keep his private home as private as possible. The ground floor is also where you'll find the mansion's main entrance, guest bedrooms, and a library. It's even surrounded by terraces that allow Doronin and his guests to take in the lush forests without being uncomfortably high up in that impossibly tall master suite. The home was officially completed in 2018 and brought both Doronin and Hadid's vision to life perfectly. Sadly, Zaha Hadid passed away in 2016, 2 years before she could see the completion of one of her most ambitious projects. PATRIK, Hadid's former business partner, took over the architecture and finished the home in her name. But luckily, Hadid left behind plenty of inspiration and buildings to honor her legacy. Zaha Hadid was an Iraqi-born British architect known for her radical deconstructivist designs. In 2004, she became the first ever woman to be awarded the prestigious Pritzker Architecture Prize. And looking at her crazy ideas and even crazier completed projects, it's easy to see how she earned the honor. In her career as an architect, she also amassed herself an impressive net worth of $215 million. Hadid established her own London-based firm, Zaha Hadid Architects, all the way back in 1979. But it was only in 1983 that she got her first bit of international recognition when her entry won in a competition to design a leisure and recreation center in Hong Kong's prestigious Peak neighborhood. The design was for a horizontal skyscraper that moved diagonally down the hillside. Unfortunately, the design ended up being too avant-garde to really get developed, which was the beginning of her reputation as a paper architect whose work lived mostly as drawings and sketches because they were way too crazy to become realized. Another of her ambitious projects that would remain a fantastical concept is her design for 600 Collins Street in Melbourne, Australia, a $200 million design deal that unfortunately fell through before it could be constructed. Over the years, Hadid did finally get some of her daring designs built, and they happen to be some of the most unique buildings in the entire world. One of the best examples is the Messner Mountain Museum in Corones, Italy. The jagged building seems fragmented and sits 2 kilometers (1.2 miles) above sea level. Hadid designed it to look like the shards of rock jutting out of the cliffsides so it would be both unique and similar within the natural landscape. The project cost $3.3 million to complete. Another of Hadid's most celebrated projects is the Heydar Aliyev Center, an important cultural center in Baku. Encompassing over 57,000 square meters, the Heydar Aliyev Center is a multifunctional venue with a 1,000-seat auditorium, lots of temporary exhibition spaces, a huge conference center, space for workshops, and last but not least, a museum. The $250 million project became Hadid's after she won a design competition in 2007 and construction was completed in 2012. Hadid wanted lots of fluid lines in the unique structure to contrast against the rigidity of the surrounding architecture. Made with concrete, steel, polyester skin, and semi-reflective glass that changes the way the building looks at different times during the day, the center is one of Hadid's best-known projects. Another unique Hadid design are the Wangjing Soho towers in Beijing. Described as 3 interweaving mountains, the towers feature curved and tapered forms that are also meant to resemble pebbles. The tallest and most slender of the towers is 200 meters, 256.2 feet high, while the other 2 are slightly broader and a bit shorter with heights of 127 meters, 416.7 feet, and 118 meters, 387.1 feet. Ribbons of white aluminum make the building look like it's split into sections and offer a unique stylistic design that automatically catches the eye of anyone passing by. Pair this with the greenery both inside and outside the building, and Hadid's love for the natural world is proudly on display in the center of a busy city district. It's obvious that Zaha Hadid was an architectural visionary, but the Spaceship House is definitely different from any of her other work. So let's have a look at the billionaire who managed to convince this legend to design her first and last private home. Vladislav Doronin and Zaha Hadid started their real estate relationship a little before the idea for the Spaceship House was born. The two had slowly become friends before that fateful day where over coffee, Hadid designed his new luxury home. Doronin even told the Financial Times in 2018 that Hadid used to refer to him as the Russian James Bond. That can't be good for his ego. Doronin actually had a lot of nicknames. He's also known as the Donald Trump of Russia for his huge property developments. The only difference is his businesses don't go bankrupt quite as often. In addition to his most popular business ventures, and with a net worth of $1.3 billion, Vladislav Doronin is also the president of Capital Group, a Russian real estate development and construction company focused on elite housing complexes. With his experience, it's no wonder that Doronin is extremely picky about his personal homes, so getting a world-renowned architect to make him a one-of-a-kind, out-of-this-world, space-themed mansion isn't at all out of character. I mean, just look at some of the other luxuries he has in his life. Doronin has been spotted with celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio on million-dollar yachts like the Ocean Emerald, which costs $104,000 a week to rent, or about $10.6 million to buy. Doronin even has his own claim to fame, as he was constantly in the tabloids for a while he was dating supermodel Naomi Campbell. The supermodel started dating the Russian billionaire way back in 2008, and they were together for 5 years before breaking up in 2013. Vlad often showered her with gifts, including getaways on his yacht and a house in the shape of an Eye of Horus located on Cleopatra Island in Turkey. The house features 25 bedrooms, 5 lounges, and an indoor landscape terrace. Compare this home to his Spaceship House, and it's not hard to see a theme between the types of unique homes Doronin likes to collect. However, the relationship with Naomi didn't end well. Doronin has actually sued her. He claims Naomi is refusing to return his personal property, which he values at more than $3 million. It's not clear yet how much money he claims to have loaned her, but he apparently wants that back too. Not that Doronin is in need of any money. It must be the principle of the matter. In addition to his spaceship home, he commissioned architect Massimo Iosa Ghini from Bologna, Italy, to design him a unique penthouse apartment in Moscow. The apartment features modern and light space with an indoor swimming pool that goes right through the living area, as well as lots of featured space for his huge collection of contemporary art. The home also features an open concept and gorgeous views of the Moscow skyline, a more metropolitan version of the forest views from his spaceship. Throughout his career, Doronin has developed more than 100 million square feet of luxury property. He owns and has developed properties all around the world in Miami, New York, Hong Kong, and of course, all throughout Russia. But even with all these amazing accomplishments, the Spaceship House is the most prized possession. He views his home as a sculpture, and he thinks that no one except for him and Zaha Hadid would have been able to bring such a complete and unique home to life. And since the world isn't exactly exploding with luxury homes in the shape of spaceships, we can't help but agree. Would you want to live in the Spaceship House? Which of Zaha Hadid's unique projects is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to The Richest for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.